Trees have always been part of our lives, offering shade on scorching days, bearing sweet fruits, and providing shelter for wildlife. Yet we have taken them for granted. And in doing so, we have cleared nearly half of the world's forests.
East African coastal forest, the biodiversity hotspot, which extends from Somalia in the north down to Kenya and Tanzania, the coastal parts of Kenya and Tanzania, and in the south to Mozambique.
Along the eastern African coast, a vibrant green corridor stretches between 50 to 200 kilometers inland from the Indian Ocean. These coastal forests are the continent's lifeline, regulating climate, sustaining biodiversity, and supporting millions of livelihoods. But their future is at risk.
Unajua hii mvua inavutwa na ile miti mikubwa mikubwa. Na sasa tukaikata. Hata wanyama nao wakaathirika. Wanyama ni msitu ndio wakaa. Kama hapa Chasimba kulikuwa na msitu. Na msitu huu ulikuwa na wanyama wakubwa hata simba. Lakini kwa sababu ya kulima watu mashamba hivi kabidi sasa hata hao simba wakatoroka.
We have species that are even critically endangered, like Uvaria pangoensis. We have that are vulnerable, like Oldfieldia somalensis and Dialium oriental. These are species which are in a high rate are disappearing.
As deforestation intensifies, the balance unravels. Water sources dry up, soil degrades, and biodiversity dwindles. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, 1 in 3 tree species worldwide is at risk of extinction. Kilifi alone has more than 40 threatened tree species, placing immense pressure on the ecosystem.
And in Kenya, we have approximately 1,100 native tree species. Of these species, 144 of them are threatened with extinction. Of these 144 species, about 61 of these species are found in the coastal area of Kenya.
In just 25 years, more than 1 million square kilometers of forests have vanished. The destruction continues. Each year, over 10 billion trees are cleared from natural forests. Many of our ancient forests are gone, putting ecosystems, biodiversity, and entire communities at risk.
Huu wote ulikuwa ni msitu wa Kayachonyi, na watu wazee wengine ambao ni kila ukoo wakaja wakakata vipande vya kuwa wao ni shamba zao. Hata wamefanya shamba zao, wamejenga, wamepanda minazi, wamepanda mikanju, wamepanda michenza, michungwa, mikorosho. Hata dakika hii wanasema ni mahali pao kwa ukoo, lakini sisi tunajua kuwa hii ni kaya yote.
Beneath these canopies, a forest is being reborn. With every opportunity, young and old come together, gathering native tree seeds, nurturing them with care, and working tirelessly to restore the sacred forest and bring life back to the land.
The title of the project is Kaya Connect, Restoring the Eastern Africa Coastal Forest Biodiversity Hotspots. The main goals of the project are to map the existing forest fragments in Kilifi County and build the capacity of 136 community members in nursery management, propagation of seed and seedlings, seed collection and handling and restoration. We also intend to increase the seed and seedling supply of native tree species within Kilifi County. Our target is 150 native tree species, of which 40 are to be threatened, rare and threatened tree species.
Botanic Garden Conservation International is driving this transformation. In 2022, the Kaya Connect project was launched in Kilifi County, a community-led initiative catered to restoring degraded forest fragments and conserving biodiversity. Through this project, local communities are reclaiming their environment while enhancing their livelihoods. Millicent, a mother of 6 and a skilled tailor, has witnessed firsthand the impact of deforestation, where water, once abundant, is now a scarce resource.
Ilikuwa hakuna sahi tukilima, hakuna chemichemi tena, hatupati, mazingira yamebadilika kwa sababu ya ukame. Sasa ilikuwa ukipata chakula ni kidogo, ara unakosa chakula.
With the training and resource support from Botanic Garden Conservation International, she now leads a group of 10 women in Chasimba, nurturing over 10,500 seedlings of native trees to restore the lost forest.
Kuanzia tupate hii BGCI na imetuletea manufaa makubwa. Kuna mafunzo ambayo tuliletewa ya kuhifadhi mazingira. Kwa ikiwa nasar na hata miti mingine tulipanda pale. Kuna miti inaendelea. Baada ya miaka fulani labda itakuwa imekuwa tazidi, hiyo msitu utaregea kama zamani. Kwa mwanzo tulipoanza kwa tunapata pesa, tulikuwa tunapata 15,000 na zilinisaidia. Tumepeleka watoto shule. Nashukuru hata ile nyumba ni ile roof ni BGCI, ile tanki ya BGCI. Japo ni ya kikundi lakini mimi nasaidika. Ningenyeshewa pale na makuti. Lakini kwa ajili ya vile ya hiyo shirika nimeletewa ile mabati ili maji yaingie kwa tangi. Tukabidi kaletewa ni faida kwangu.
Through BGCI's Kaya Connect project, 174 local community members have been recruited and trained, and 141 are working in the project as nursery workers, seed collectors, restoration workers, farmer leads, education officers, and seed technicians. Together, they are working toward a common goal, restoring 180 hectares of degraded land and reviving Kilifi's rich biodiversity. Through collecting and producing over 180 species of native trees.
We're trying to conserve species that occur in the Eastern African coastal forest, but we also want to create a model project here that can be replicated in other hotspots and other areas around the world, that really again shows that you can plant a high diversity of native species, rather than just planting a small number of species in a plantation style. We're supporting community nurseries to bring more native tree species into the planting mix, and we're trying to help them to engage in larger scale planting projects, so this provides income to the community nurseries.
At Kaya Kauma, nested deep within Kilifi County, 31-year-old Ayub Nyoka leads a dedicated group of women, both young and old, on a mission to restore their sacred forest. Among them, Tumaini and Eunice play crucial roles, tirelessly propagating indigenous tree species and training their communities in sustainable conservation practices.
Ilituletea mafunzo kwa sababu kama si hayo mafunzo hatungejua kuwa kuna huu mradi. Tulikuwa hatujui lolote kabisa. Tukaenda training Pwani University, tukafundishwa, tukaanza huu mradi na tusupport na mifuko, matank pia, na mara nyingine tunatoa miti kwa community bure, kama miti 2,000 kwa mashule, ofisi ya machifu wanachukua wakipanda huko.
Hii mafunzo yenye tulipewa na BGCI, jinsi ya kuotesha miti ama aina ngapi za miti ziko, na katika hayo mafunzo pia tumejifunza ama nimejifunza hasa kuna miti mingi ya kiasili ina manufaa mengi kwa binadamu ama kwa sisi watu, kwa sababu miti mengine majani yake ni dawa, magamba yake ni dawa, mizizi yake ni dawa. So ile elimu mimi huwa napitisha kwa mayuthi wenzangu na kwa jamii kwa ujumla.
Together, they have nurtured 18,000 native trees, representing 40 different species, transforming once barren land into a thriving ecosystem.
In Kenya, there are more than 1,100 native tree species here, and more than 140 of those are threatened with extinction. A lot of those threatened species are found here in the coast, and that really helped us to design this project. And our project is called Kaya Connect, Restoring the Eastern African Coastal Forest Biodiversity Hotspot. It's funded by the UK government's Darwin Initiative, and we're aiming to bring more native and threatened species into the planting mix in Kilifi County to start with, and then we want to scale that project up across the whole of the Eastern African Coastal Forest Biodiversity Hotspot.
For Selina Pandey, the transformation of this forest is deeply personal. She has watched Kaya Kauma change from a place of excessive wood harvesting to a sanctuary for regrowth. Now a seed collector, she spends her days walking beneath the towering trees, carefully gathering seeds, each one a promise of renewal.
Kule msituni kule kwetu, wakati wote wanakata miti na kutengeneza makaa, kuko miti kuko empty kabisa, si kama hivi kulivyo, kuko empty. Sasa nilivyojua jinsi ya kuwa msituni kulindwa na kufanywa vizuri miti, na mimi nikajaribu kuambia, ona hii, usione kila siku nikitoka hapa na kikapu changu naenda huko msituni. Basi kuna somo ambayo mimi nalipata huko. Mkikata mti nupande. Kama utakapanda mti usikate mti. Na wamepunguza huko kukata miti.
With every seed she collects, she carries forward a vision of hope, resilience and restoration, determined to return Kaya Kauma to its former glory.
Nilivyoingia huu mradi, nilivyoingia huko msituni kujua kufaidi hii miti. Pia mimi naweza kuwa na mwenzangu haribu mti, na mimi kamwambia vile wafanya si vizuri. Kama kata mti upande mwingine.
So we are teaching them how to identify these tree species, the taxonomy of these plant species, how to follow the phenology of these plant species, and then how they can collect quality seeds from the trees that they have within their forests. Once they have collected these trees that they have within their forests, so we are also enabling them to be able to propagate and produce seedlings from them, and then these seedlings are brought back into the forest for restoration purposes, and they are also distributed to the local communities for the local communities to be able to plant them in their farms, and they can have access to trees that they can use for their livelihood purposes and reduce pressure in the forest fragments that we have within Kilifi.
The sacred Kaya forest was once untouchable. Only elders like Mwabaya Bura could enter, and only under one condition: to appease the gods and invoke rain. But today, the once thriving forests stand fragmented, with only a few large pockets remaining a testament to nature's resilience. Now, Mwabaya and fellow Kaya elders, with the support of Botanic Garden Conservation International, are leading efforts to help the forest heal. Every young sapling they nurture is more than just a tree. It is a symbol of renewal. They are reviving an entire ecosystem, safeguarding biodiversity, and preserving the rich cultural heritage of Kaya Chonyi for generations to come.
BGCI hili ni shirika ambayo lilikuja kuokoa sisi wazee wa Kaya Chonyi, kwa sababu kaya yetu ilikuwa imeisha kabisa. Watu walikuwa wanalima, watu wanakata miti, watu wanakata fito, wanajenga ndani, lakini kuja hii shirika, basi tunashukuru hata wale wa korofi, wale majambazi walikuwa wanaharibu msitu wamepunguza.
To restore the degraded forest fragments of Kilifi, communities are planting millions of trees. But reforestation is more than just planting. It requires the right species and seeds, sourced and tested for viability to ensure biodiversity and sustainability. This is where Ian Mwaniki, a dedicated seed bank manager, and BGCI's network of experts in plant conservation comes in. With his expertise and technology, he brings hope to forest restoration. Every seed holds the promise of a thriving future, carefully selected, preserved, and nurtured to regenerate Kilifi's lost forests and secure sustainability for generations to come.
Here at the seed bank, we also perform various experiments so that we can know how to propagate these seeds and inform other people how to propagate. So BGCI has facilitated us with the seed bank which that we kept with various equipments like refrigerators, storage cabinets, and even data loggers. And despite that, they have also provided us with trainings on how to generally handle these seeds and species. These species are key to restoration, and we advise people and we advise other initiatives that we partner with to use those indigenous species.
Abdallah is one of the many youth leading change. His participation in the exchange program in Peru, with his engagement with the Kaya Connect project as a restoration worker, enriched his indigenous conservation knowledge, which he has now shared with 35 other young environmentalists in Rabai.
Mimi nilikuwa trained kama seed collector. Kwanza, jambo la kwanza, mimi sikuwa na ufahamu ama ujuzi wa kutafuta mbegu. Chenye nilikuwa najua mimi kwamba niweza enda tayari kama ni msituni upate mti umejaza uko na mbegu zimekauka, unatingisa huo mti wote, unabeba mbegu unaleta nyumba. Hiyo ilikuwa sijui kwanza. Lakini baada ya mafunzo nikaja nikajua hata ukienda ukiwa unatafuta mbegu lazima utachukua mti mmoja hapa uruke ukachukua mti mwingine pale ukote mali kwingine. Alafu pia katika upanzi wa miti pia na usikuwa na ufahamu. Unaweza una watu sasa kwa mfano kwa tunaweza ndapanda kama ekari 2 lakini tutapanda species moja peke yake. Kwa mfano tuseme kama mbamba kofi, ambayo hiyo haifai. Diversity huwa inafaa kuzingatiwa wakati kama ni watu wanapanda miche. Sasa hayo yote mimi sikuwa na ufahamu nayo. Alafu kitu chenye sasa najivunia sana ni kwamba baada ya kupata mafunzo nilikuja nikajiwekea nasari yangu mwenyewe, nikakuza miche yangu, na hiyo miche niliuza na nilipata pesa. Hadi kufikia saa hii kuna vijana wenzangu sasa nao wameanza kunijoin, wengine paka wameanza kuweka nasari zao. Na pia nao wamepata nguvu, wanajisikia pia wafike kule juu kwenda kusaidia na wale wazee kuhifadhi ule msitu wetu.
Despite all these efforts, BGCI knows that true success lies in one more critical step: passing the torch to the next generation. The wisdom of the elders must not be lost. Young people must step forward, embrace this mission, and carry on the legacy of conservation. Without their commitment, the hard work of today could fade away, and the forest may never fully return. At Kilifi Comprehensive Primary School, a new generation is rising to safeguard the future. The school is bridging the knowledge gap, empowering young learners to become stewards of climate action.
At school, we are trying to empower our learners to make sure that they take care of the environment by planting trees around the school compound and even at their homes.
Students like Brian Longilo and Amina Mohammed are discovering the vital role of forests play in sustaining life and the devastating consequences of losing them.
Miti inatusaidia na hewa safi, inatusaidia na chakula na kivuli.
BGCI has helped us first and foremost to be able to bring on board different environmental education teachers. We've been able to see that me being part of them, we've been able to get an opportunity to actually work with the students in this environmental space. So they have been able to fund and support our different activities, including our transport to schools. They've also helped in supporting different outreach programs that we do, including tree planting. So they have really supported in funding all those tree transportation, tree restoration.
When local communities are empowered, forests stand a fighting chance. These guardians of nature are not just restoring and protecting the land. They are weaving their livelihoods into the very fabric of conservation. Every seed they plant, every tree they nurture, is both a step toward ecological recovery and a source of sustenance.
The Kaya Connect was to enhance production of seedlings. And you will have seen, if you have gone through some of the nurseries, like the community nurseries in Chasimba, Kayachonyi, and Kaya Kauma, by providing seeds, because they through the project, they hired Friends of Arabuku as seed collectors, and those seeds were getting collected from the forests and then distributed to different nurseries. Like we still have loads of seeds here. And then that availability of seeds has really boosted seedling production and also reduced costs.
By sourcing seeds from the remaining forest fragments and producing native tree seedlings in the nursery, Lawrence ensures the survival of native species, bridging conservation efforts in Kilifi.
Kaya Connect came while we were at year 2. So all that capacity building, provision of market for the seedlings, and the availability of seed material. Like, you really need to know the species match selection. Do you have the species for the right place? If you look at the conditions now, can that species survive in your restoration area? And then seeds availability.
Forests are more than just trees. They are the lifeline of our planet. Through collective efforts, and sustainable practices, we can restore the Eastern African coastal forest biodiversity hotspot.
So we are working with Kilifi County government to identify where gaps are in terms of policies in Kilifi County, and how we can fill those gaps to enable other restoration organizations have a good and steady reference point for their restoration work going forward in Kilifi County.
By supporting indigenous communities and local conservation groups who have protected these forests for generations, we honor their knowledge and resilience. By investing in reforestation, we breathe new life into degraded landscapes. The path forward is clear: protect, restore, and regenerate. The future of our forests depends on what we do today.